Welcome to the PPG Prayer Channel, the powerful people of God prayer community. Pope Francis is dead. Join us as we look into the life and time of this chief servant of God. Subscribe to this channel as we ride on.
Pope Francis, a humble shepherd's final chapter. Pope Francis, at the age of 88, has passed away. A humble reformer who dedicated his life to bringing the Catholic Church closer to the people. His death was announced by the Vatican on Easter Monday. Cardinal Kevin Farrell, Camerlengo of the Apostolic Chamber, delivered the solemn news from Pope Francis' residence at Casa Santa Marta. "Dearest brothers and sisters," Cardinal Farrell stated, "with deep sorrow I must announce the death of our Holy Father Francis. At 7:35 this morning, the Bishop of Rome returned to the house of the Father. Pope Francis in his Pope Mobile, waving to crowds, Easter Mass 2025. Just one day earlier, a frail but determined Pope Francis greeted thousands in St. Peter's Square after Easter, Massachusetts. Seated in his open-air vehicle, he waved to the faithful, his presence a powerful symbol of perseverance. Though battling serious health issues in recent months, including pneumonia and respiratory complications, he remained committed to his flock until the end. World leaders offering condolences with candles and on social media. Condolences have poured in from around the world. U.S. President Donald Trump shared his tribute on social media, writing, "Rest in peace, Pope Francis. May God bless him and all who loved him." Born Jorge Mario Bergoglio on December 17, 1936, in Buenos Aires, Argentina, he was the son of Italian immigrants. From a working-class background, he rose through the ranks of the Jesuit order to eventually lead the Archdiocese of Buenos Aires. In March 2013, he was elected the 266th Pope, the first from the Americas and the first non-European in more than 1,000 years. A papacy of courage and compassion. Francis washing feet, speaking on social justice, embracing migrants. Known for his humility and bold reforms, Pope Francis championed the poor, the marginalized, and the displaced. He often spoke against injustice, urging the Church to be a field hospital for the wounded. On the topic of immigration, he was outspoken. In 2024, he declared, "Those who deliberately drive away migrants commit a grave sin." A pope who traveled the world, but never returned home. Pope Francis made over 45 international journeys, including historic firsts for a pope, but he never returned to Argentina. Tensions with political leaders at home may have played a role. Even President Javier Milei, who once criticized Francis, offered heartfelt condolences, calling him a man of kindness and wisdom. Pope Francis, a brief overview of his journey on earth. Birth and early life. Full name, Jorge Mario Bergoglio. Date of birth, December 17, 1936. Place of birth, Buenos Aires, Argentina. He was born to Italian immigrant parents and worked as a chemical technician and nightclub bouncer before entering the seminary. Religious ordinations. Ordained as a priest, December 13, 1969, for the Society of Jesus, Jesuits. Consecrated as bishop, June 27, 1992. Appointed Archbishop of Buenos Aires, 1998. Created Cardinal, February 21, 2001 by Pope John Paul II. PPG. Elected Pope, March 13, 2013. Firsts. First Jesuit Pope. First Pope from the Americas. First Pope from the Southern Hemisphere. First to take the name Francis, in honor of Saint Francis of Assisi. Legacy. known for his humility, simplicity, and focus on the poor and marginalized. Emphasized mercy, pastoral care, and interfaith dialogue. Advocated for action on climate change with his encyclical Laudato Si, 2015. Took steps to reform the Vatican's financial and administrative structures. Promoted synodality, a more inclusive and listening church. Maintained a balanced stance on controversial issues, seeking unity without compromising core teachings. Hospital exterior, Francis being wheeled in supportive crowds. In mid-February, Pope Francis was hospitalized for over 5 weeks with severe respiratory issues and renal complications. Doctors considered ceasing treatment, but his personal assistant urged them to try everything. After being released in late March, he resumed duties on a reduced schedule, making what would be his final public appearance on Easter Sunday. Throughout his 12-year papacy, Pope Francis pushed the Church toward compassion, dialogue, and ecological responsibility. His encyclicals Laudato Si and Fratelli Tutti continue to inspire people of all faiths. His entire life was dedicated to the service of the Lord, Cardinal Farrell said. He taught us to live the gospel with courage and universal love. Pope Francis, the slum pope, the people's pope, the reformer of hearts, leaves behind a church more open, more merciful, and more human. May he rest in the peace he so often preached. Subscribe for more reflections on faith, leadership, and global change.